18,100 pounds, a used Montana front kitchen fifth wheel coming in here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. It's only the first used front kitchen fifth wheel I've ever seen in my career, mostly because Montana was the first to come out with it. It only came out a few years ago, and typically when you buy a big luxury fifth wheel like a Montana, you buy it with the idea of it being the last one you're ever going to own. The folks actually swapped it out for a different Montana, so I think the idea still remained the same. They just want a little different layout and swapped it for one of their new front livings that we just got here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And this was one of those floor plans that really paved the way for a lot of other things. It was the first, it might have been the very first front kitchen fifth wheel. If not, it was easily the first successful one. There was never a successful front kitchen fifth wheel before this Montana, I know that. And what's funny is they just kind of took a front living and a middle kitchen, and they just sort of flip-flopped them, and good gravy did it work. But they did all the things that really matter. Like up here, we're looking at a MaxxAir roof vent fan with a rain sensor and a wall controller, so you can get that awesome living room cross-breeze airflow, and this living room's loaded with windows, as we'll see. But first I want to start moving toward the front kitchen, since kind of the focal point of the RV. And one thing you won't see in here are the air conditioners. This has dual whisper ducted air. Montana was the first fifth wheel in its class and price point to standardize that, and many still do not. It's a very handy quality. It's something Mr. Haylett loves about his Montana demo, because he hates the sound of that compressor kicking on at night. He loves that dampened noise. What's cool here is how it's open. Like, you'll see when you're standing at the kitchen, you're still looking at the entertainment. You're still part of it. But there's enough of a wall and a framework right here that you recognize the definition. That's the kitchen. Here's the living room. And that's one thing that a lot of fifth wheels tend to lack. You also notice up here, they kept the kitchen completely carpetless, which a lot of manufacturers struggle to keep the upper decks of their fifth wheels carpetless. And Montana has identified that as an important feature. And again, not an accident they're so darn successful. They still do this in their newly revised 3740 or 41 front kitchen, this big front kind of family lounge dinette here, and the table can pivot, so if you want to get in or out more easily or whatever, you absolutely can. There's storage below that seating, but it gives you this cool, big entertainment, family and friends dining space. You can play some cards, do whatever. Like, you could easily just grab a couple stools or a bench or chairs and put them over here and really just pack that sucker full. Thanksgiving in a Montana. So all of the windows have blackout roller shades, but the front one is actually a power up-down shade. There's a switch actually by the stairs, so that from the ground level you can, well, I guess the main deck, not ground level, main deck of the RV, you can open and close that. Now, as we start to pivot around here, this is the upper deck slide, and it's really interesting because this is only a one-slide upper deck. But if you look, this is a ginormous amount of prep, serving, and storage space. They kind of call this like a little buffet serving station. And if you get in here and you open this up, you see that every ounce of that counter space, everything below it, is all storage capacity. And these are all hardwood cabinet doors. It's all pocket screwed cabinetry. Neat little thing too, there's a household outlet in that corner, so if you want to make this a little coffee station or griddle area or something, you could. Obviously you can see the all solid surface counters that persist through this kitchen area right here. And the drawer space right over here in the main kitchen area is fantastic. This was also the first generation that you saw those more household style sealed burner stovetops like we're looking at above that glass door oven, which is yet another trend Montana kicked off in the fifth wheel industry. I sound like a broken record, but it's because that's just sort of what happens. Montana's the leader. There's some other good brands too, for sure, but these guys are the leaders that a lot of people follow. It is a convection microwave, and there's a shade for that skylight, by the way, so if you don't want direct sun boiling your brains out, you don't have to. Obviously, I've absorbed a little too much solar radiation in my day, but neither here nor there. Handy little pop-up power tower, keeping our devices and whatnot powered up and running. And below the solid surface sink covers, this is a stainless sink. Now, real quick, I want to mention, this is an 18 cubic foot gas and electric fridge freezer. So this is an RV fridge. It's great for traveling, or frankly, it's great with the auto changeover. If you happen to lose power, no worries, you're not going to lose the 18 cubic foot of food that you have in that thing. So below us is a power theater recliner faced on Boardwalk and Park Place directly across from the entertainment center. And like I said, if you stand here at the sink where I'm at currently, you're still involved in the mix. You're still in the action. And that's what's cool about this floor plan. A lot of times the campsite cook loses out, but that's not the case here. You'll also find that there are breeze windows all the way around the thing, including those tall slides, those 6.5 foot tall slides right there. And this has a 6.5 foot tall entry door, by the way, which is residential height. So guys like me don't clock your head. I've got a scab on my head, top of my head right now, which is gross to talk about, but I smashed my head walking out of a trailer the other day. Well, you know, in this fifth wheel, that wouldn't be a problem. That's something I appreciate. I also really like the overhead indirect accent lighting right there. It's awesome for what I call stealth mode camping. If you are using these two sofas, which are each hide-a-beds, by the way, these are dual trifold hide-a-beds, and they don't cut the RV off. You can still walk through here. You can turn these indirect lights on, and you have like a little night light for your guests, little, you know, air traffic controller lighting. But frankly, even at the end of the night when you're sitting down, you just want to watch a movie, you don't want those indirect lights blinding you. You don't have to. By the way, this huge TV, it's on a double swing arm pivot. So if you want to watch it from the theater and the sofa over here and have a conversation corner, or the opposite sofa as we pass by the electric space heating fireplace, you can do that too. And remember, all of these windows have roll down blackout shades. And I love the campside window viewing of this model. Like if you look over here, especially, this is actually my favorite window here, because with all the tint on these windows, you can't really see inside, but you can see outside easily. Kind of like, if you look at that Apex over there, you see how you can't see in those windows, but we can see outside of them very easily. If somebody's knocking on your door, you have a little chance to kind of come over here and peek at the stairs and be like, who is that at my campsite? Some people like guests, some people don't. Rolling back through the hallway here, there's a handy coat closet, which is an easily missed feature. Also missed is on the stairs up to the kitchen, there's a central vacuum system with a handy little, what I call electric dustpan. The Montana pivot door, it's funny, some people like it, some people don't. It seems to grow into favor and then phase back out. It's just weird how trends kind of go up and down and around and in between. Plenty of legroom in front of that porcelain foot flush there. Seamless one-piece molded shower with corner seating area. And tall people rejoice, since this has a lower deck bathroom in a big luxury fifth wheel with a super tall ceiling. You're never going to hit your head. And yet another of these fans, 3 rain-sensoring, wall-controlled max air vent fans in this floor plan. You also have height-adjustable shower hardware, which is something my wife and I would greatly appreciate in this RV. We are very different in terms of our verticality, which I don't believe is actually even a word, but I believe you understand what I'm saying when I'm saying it. The sink in the kitchen, or pardon me, bathroom, by the way, is solid surface, as is that countertop here in the bathroom. That's a neat little feature on this. The sink that we just saw and the counter space in that bathroom are a one-piece molded fixture. Now, it's easy to miss, but back here in the bedroom, you actually have opposing slides. This entire wall over here is nothing but storage, and we will open that up in a second. But first, I want to mention you've got whisper air back here as well, and I should turn on the lights. Why are we talking about it? There we go. Let there be light. Let's start over here in the corner, because if I had those closed, this thing would look like that'd look like just a small little joke of a cabinet, but when you open it up, you see that's huge, because that is either just a ton of storage or our stackable ready washer dryer space. The bed slide here, just like all Montana bed slides, a little deeper than the average bear, which allows for larger cross breeze windows. And note the household outlets and CPAP friendly side stands built directly into the slide walls. That is a very hard thing to do in the RV industry. Montana does it very well. Now, these folks swapped this out for a front living Montana, brand new 2020. I mean, barely, the tires weren't even cold when it rolled in. But they had replaced the mattress here in this front kitchen that they originally purchased. So what you are getting is the brand new, never used, still in the plastic mattress from the new Montana that just rolled in at Haylett RV that the folks purchased. So that's a nice thing. You're not worried about someone else's potential for creepy fuzzy bugs, maybe. Good windows back here for plenty of light and visibility. And like I said, this entire wall opens up and it's just nothing but storage. Now what's cool, that TV is also downward angled, so you're not going to get a neck cramp trying to catch up on a movie or something, or do some little, you know, Netflix or Hulu in the evening. Which it's awesome how more and more streaming services have become available, and data sources are becoming better for more mobile streaming functionality. That's something I enjoy. 9 dresser drawers, in addition to that huge sort of dresser storage closet / washer dryer prep area. And another interesting thing, you see the hanging rod that runs behind the TV in that closet? It actually runs all the way behind the TV, but thankfully they put these little vertical supports so that where you're going to load the heaviest bulk of your hanging clothing space, you know, it has the reinforcement to handle that. But if you have little stuff you want to hang up, or you got little organizers, it gives you that ability. Plus, if nothing else, it creates an extra shelf with yet another shelf space below. So I mean, if you're gonna go full timing, this is more than capable of fulfilling any need you're gonna have here. That's smart. Folks, put a little towel up here so that when this door was in travel mode, it had absolutely no wiggle, no waggle, nowhere to go. That's so simple. It cost you $0, and it's so smart. Good sign to see here. Overall, the exterior looks pretty good. I always try to be fair, and I'll try to remember to point this out when we get back around to it. The only, like, hiccup, I guess I'd say, on the exterior is right over here on the face of that slide. There's a little small radius of fender trim, and it's purely just visual and cosmetic, that is sitting inside that front storage compartment right there. I'm going to guess maybe wind buffeting, or somebody caught it on their pant leg or belt loop or something and popped it off of there. It looks like it could be reattached and just maybe hadn't gotten there yet. That windshield up front, Montana really was the one that popularized and brought that front automotive windshield to the mainstream of the fifth wheel industry, and man, since then it became pretty much a staple of any high-level fifth wheel. And brands like Rockwood had been doing front windshields and travel trailers, but right about the same time you saw fifth wheels and travel trailers and everybody like, oh buddy, front windshields. Well, this is a huge inspiration as to why. This has a 6-point hydraulic auto leveling system. Also has more ride suspension and pin box for smoother ride and handling, because a unit like this is probably going to be something that is going to be used at a destination, but you got to get it there, and they make getting it there a more enjoyable experience. Sharing some space with that front pass-through, which that's a heated pass-through, by the way. There is a direct vent heat duct in there, is your fully enclosed docking center. Montanas are and have been 0-degree rated since 2005 and counting. That's where that piece of fender trim is. So that's interesting. The same piece of fender trim is off on both sides of the RV. That's very interesting. Again, it makes me think that there was some wind buffeting as a result. Since the slides stick out a little further, a little wind might have caught that right there. Probably can be easily reattached and just gusseted it up, reinforced if need be. Tires look fantastic. There's no dry rotting, no weather checking, nothing spooky like that. I also like how the folks put the little snap-on feet on the foot pads of the auto leveling system, so you don't have to. It just gives you a wider footprint so that you don't tend to sink, the RV doesn't tend to shift. Now, in addition to that front pass-through, under the rear bed back here, you see you actually have an additional side exterior compartment, and this is absolutely awesome right here. And the fact that even this right here has the double struts and the slam latches to help make for easy come and go in that. You know, it's just Montana doing Montana things. It's not an accident. They are and have been the most successful fifth wheel overall in the history of fifth wheeling. You know, they're pretty good at what they do. Backup camera ready, although I do not see where one was ever applied. And this does have the dual AC system. I don't think I mentioned that inside. This actually has dual Whisper Air. 30,000 BTUs of cooling power. Both are whisper ducted, so whisper in the bedroom, whisper in the living area. This also has a huge awning. It does go over the top of that central slide, but in a sense that basically means the biggest, deepest slide in our living area has a free slide awning built onto it, and that awning will also help shade the slide, which helps in turn keep the RV from getting too hot or cold inside, well, I'm sorry, hot. You're probably not going to have the awning out if it's super duper cold. Over here, our main, our doors, both entry doors are treated the same. They both have a full viewing window in them, but they also have privacy shades in the windows, as you see here. And both front and rear steps are not just the nice MORryde stable steps, but this was kind of the generation 2. The first generation was the MORryde step, but this is the what I call 0G system one. You have that little gas strut assist right there, so you don't have to, it's not going to fall on you, just like you're seeing right here. It's self-supporting and it's not going to hit your head, smack your dog, anything like that. Quick look right down the sidewall here so you can see that this thing is gleaming, shining. It is beautiful. I don't see oxidation. I don't see impact damage where they, like, you know, tail swiped it into something like that. I don't see where somebody hit it with a lawnmower. The only, like I said, thing I can say is that there's that little piece of missing fender trim on either side of those sofa slides, and that's the kind of thing that, frankly, I just don't know that it's really going to I don't think it's going to stop you from camping. I think it's a preferential thing if you want it there or not. And that's the kind of thing we can help you with if need be here at Haylett RV. I'm also not surprised that the roof looks fantastic. All of the seals look good. I don't even see anything that really even needs spot touched. The roof membrane has been obviously cleaned and maintained. We are roof solar prepped. If you wanted to, you got all kinds of space here. You could put all sorts of different panels, and theoretically you could probably run more panels and some conduit up here. Everything looks good. Everything looks like it was well maintained. The worst I can say up here is that the refrigerator roof vent has sun faded a little bit, which is completely not visible from ground level. And the only person who's ever going to see that is you when you do routine care, maintenance, and cleaning, just like the previous owners did right here. That's what a roof's supposed to look like. Interesting note here. The front air conditioner is actually a low profile. The rear is not, because it's down on the taper. So in case you're kind of curious to see, you know, does one look different than the other? I don't use a fisheye lens. That is actually what they look like. So what we're looking at over here, this is actually what we call our overflow lot. These are literally all just copies of the new RVs that we have in stock here at Haylett RV. And this location right here that is just packed with inventory and going to be packed with even more very soon. This is how we make our volume happen here at our small little Southern Michigan facility. So whether it's new or used, hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between, we do it all right here at Haylett RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.